Technical analysis using multiple timeframes. A relatable opening. Have you ever opened up a chart, stared at all those red and green lines, and asked yourself, should I buy now, sell, or just shut this thing off and go take a nap? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many traders, both beginners and experienced ones, have been in that exact same spot. The problem usually isn't a lack of tools. It's not knowing which signals to trust and when to trust them. That's when I came across a book. Not one of those get-rich-quick guides, and definitely not full of magic formulas. This book offers something far more valuable. It teaches you how to understand what stage the market is in, and more importantly, what you should be doing in each of those stages. The book is called Technical Analysis Using Multiple Timeframes. And in this video, I'm going to share with you why it deserves a spot on the desk of anyone who is serious about trading. I'll walk you through the most powerful yet simple lessons I took from it, and I'll show you how you can start applying those concepts directly to your own strategy. If you've ever felt confused looking at charts, stay with me until the end of this video, because it just might change the way you look at the market forever. 2. Why this book stands out. There are hundreds of books on technical analysis out there, but let's be honest, most of them only make things more complicated. This one is different. It doesn't overwhelm you with endless indicators. It doesn't try to sound overly academic either. Instead, it focuses on one simple but powerful question. When should you trade? Where should you trade? And most importantly, why? Rather than teaching you how to predict tops and bottoms, it helps you understand how the market behaves. It shows you how to see where the money is flowing and which side you should be on. The author doesn't promise fast money or overnight success. What he offers is a mental framework, and if you follow it, it could save you from making some very costly mistakes. What I appreciate most about this book is how it explains the connection between different timeframes. It's something that far too many traders overlook. You'll realize that making a decision based only on a 5-minute chart is like trying to drive a car using only the rear-view mirror. This book teaches you how to look further ahead, but with clarity, and how to zoom in, but with a clear purpose. Most importantly, it teaches you how to work with the market, not against it. 3. Core concept. What is multi-timeframe analysis? One of the biggest mistakes traders make, whether they're beginners or veterans, is focusing too much on a single chart. They get stuck watching a 5-minute or 15-minute chart and forget that those tiny time frames are just small pieces of a much bigger picture. This book gives you a totally different way to look at the market. If you really want to understand what's going on, you need to zoom out and zoom in multiple times. The author uses 5 time frames side by side: weekly, daily, 30-minute, 15-minute, and 5-minute. That might sound complicated, but it actually makes perfect sense. The weekly chart shows you the primary trend. The daily chart helps you spot key zones. The 30-minute and 15-minute charts help you time your entries. And the 5-minute chart is used to fine-tune the execution with precision. Think of it like going on a hunt. You don't just use one type of scope. You need a wide-angle lens to scan the field, a medium lens to identify your target, and a sniper lens to lock in your shot. That's exactly how the author approaches multi-timeframe analysis. He never enters a trade just because one chart gives a signal. He waits until all the timeframes line up, when everything is pointing in the same direction. That's when he makes his move. And once you train your eyes to see the market through this layered perspective, everything changes. The market no longer feels random. It starts to feel structured, it starts to make sense. And suddenly, you begin to see things that others completely miss. The 4 market stages. A practical seasonal framework. If you've ever bought in right after a price spike, only to watch the market crash right after. Or if you've ever sold out of fear, and then watched prices keep going up without you, then this part of the book is going to open your eyes. The author breaks the market into 4 clear stages, just like the seasons of the year. And the best part is, you don't have to guess what season you're in. You just have to learn how to recognize the signs. Let's go through them. Stage 1 is accumulation. This is when the market is quiet, moving sideways, and volume is low. Smart money starts buying in quietly, but it's still a risky time to enter, unless there's a clear breakout. Stage 2 is the uptrend. The trend turns bullish, with higher highs and higher lows. This is springtime, the season to take action. It's a good time to go long, but only if you get confirmation from lower time frames. Stage 3 is distribution. Prices begin to stall after a long rally. Volume may suddenly spike. Big players start to unload their positions. Retail traders often get sucked in at the very top, driven by FOMO, and they end up holding the bag. Stage 4 is the downtrend. Now the trend is clearly bearish, lower highs and lower lows. This is the ideal time to look for short setups, but it's also when inexperienced traders keep holding on to losing trades, hoping they'll recover, and they never do. What makes Shannon's approach so valuable is that it's not just theory. He tells you exactly what to do in each stage. In stage 1 and stage 3, stay out, do nothing. In stage 2, look for long opportunities. In stage 4, look for shorts, or stay in cash. Once you understand this 4-stage cycle, the candles on your chart start to tell a story. You're no longer just reacting to green and red bars. You begin to understand the bigger picture the market is unfolding, and that changes everything. Smart entry and trade management strategies. Knowing what stage the market is in is one thing, but knowing when to enter and what to do once you're in, that's what separates professional traders from gamblers. Shannon doesn't teach you how to catch tops or bottoms. He teaches you how to ride with the flow of money. His entries are like jumping onto a fast-moving train, not trying to push it out of the station by yourself. So how does he do it? Let's start with his entry strategy. Never jump in randomly. Only enter when multiple timeframes are aligned. Wait for a breakout above resistance, but only when it's confirmed by strong volume and clean price action. Use anchored VWAP to see who's really in control, the buyers or the sellers. And don't buy just because a stock looks cheap. Buy when the trend is clear and the buyers are clearly in charge. Now let's talk trade management. Never go all in. Brian usually splits his position into 3 parts. He enters with full size, but then exits in thirds, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. Why? Because this method gives him several advantages. First, he can lock in profits when price moves in his favor. Second, he still holds a piece in case the trend continues. And third, he avoids that all too familiar regret of selling too early. Now let's talk about stop losses. There are no negotiations here. Always define your stop before you enter a trade, never after. Base your stops on actual price structure, like support and resistance levels, not on gut feeling or emotion. And if your stop gets hit, get out. No questions asked. That's not a failure. That's the price you pay to stay in the game. And what if the market goes against you right away? Brian follows one simple rule. If I'm wrong immediately, I'll exit immediately. That one sentence shows the difference between a trader with a system and someone who's just hoping for the best. When your entries, exits, and stops are clearly planned, you stop panicking every time you see a red candle. You become more calm, more focused, and most importantly, more consistent over time. Mindset and psychology, the silent edge. Most people think trading is all about charts, indicators, and signals. But in reality, what makes a trader successful doesn't sit on a screen. It lives inside their head. This is something Shannon emphasizes over and over in the book. Because as he puts it, and I completely agree, trading isn't a game of intelligence. It's a game of self-control. Let's start with emotional control. When prices fall, you panic. When prices rise, you get overconfident. And when the market moves sideways, you get bored and start trading just to feel busy. These emotional reactions, if left unchecked, can destroy even the best strategy. So don't try to predict, just react. Brian constantly reminds us, only price pays. The market doesn't reward you for being smart, it rewards you for being on the right side of price action. Don't try to call the top or the bottom. Instead, watch who's in control, buyers or sellers, and align yourself with them. And then there's discipline, and it's everything. A strategy you don't follow is worthless. A stop loss you don't respect means game over. Many traders enter a position, then start inventing reasons to hold on to it. They make up stories in their head just to avoid cutting a loss. But Brian is clear about this. You should prepare for a trade the way a pilot prepares for takeoff. Everything needs to be in place before you're in the air. That kind of preparation, emotional detachment, and willingness to admit you're wrong early That's what separates long-term survivors from everyone else. And here's the best part. This mindset doesn't require you to be smarter than anyone else. You just need to be more consistent, more self-aware, and more honest with yourself. Brian Shannon and his impact on the trading community. Not everyone who writes about trading actually trades, and not everyone who trades well knows how to teach it clearly. Brian Shannon does both, and he does them exceptionally well. Before becoming a respected author, Brian was a real trader. He ran trading desks, coached proprietary teams, and wrote daily newsletters, not to build an audience, but to keep himself disciplined. What started as simple, no-hype blog posts grew into a massive following of tens of thousands of traders. They didn't come for flashy signals. They came because his approach is clear, practical, and grounded in real experience. Here's something fascinating. In the book called The StockTwits Edge, which collects stories from many successful traders, nearly 1/3 of those interviewed said Brian Shannon was the single most important influence on their trading journey. His followers don't stick around because he's the loudest voice in the room. They follow him because he speaks with honesty. He trades what he teaches. And most of all, he respects the people he teaches by breaking down complex ideas in a way that's simple and straightforward. Whether you find him on YouTube, on Twitter, or on his website alphatrends.net, you'll see the same Brian Shannon, disciplined, consistent, and loyal to one core belief: don't predict. Read the market, follow the trend, and protect your capital above all else. That's why Brian Shannon isn't just another author. He's become a quiet mentor to thousands of traders around the world. 8. Joe should read this book, and why? You might be wondering, is this book for me? Do I have enough experience to really get something out of it? Here's the truth. If you're serious about trading, this book was written with you in mind. It doesn't matter if you're brand new to the game or if you've been burned by the market more than once. This book doesn't require any advanced technical background. All it asks is that you show up with the right mindset, a willingness to learn, and the openness to re-examine the market with clarity and simplicity. If you're a beginner, this book will help you avoid 80% of the rookie mistakes that new traders usually make. You'll learn what a real trend looks like, how to time your entries and exits, and how to avoid trading during the wrong stage of the market cycle. If you've traded before, but still struggle with consistency, this book is like a mental reset button. It'll help you clear out the chaos inside your head when the chart turns against you, and replace it with a logical, disciplined, repeatable process. And if you're someone who's busy, someone who can't sit in front of a screen all day watching candles, you're going to love the book's focus on multi-timeframe analysis and swing trading. It helps you make smart decisions without needing to micromanage every move. So why should you read it? To stop feeling lost and overwhelmed by the market, to build a mental framework that cuts through all the noise and emotion, and to finally understand the grammar of a chart, not just its colors and not just your gut. This isn't a book that teaches you how to get rich quick, but it might just be the one that helps you stop losing money the dumb way. And honestly, for me, that alone makes it more than worth reading. The conclusion. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, chances are you've been where I was. Lost in a sea of indicators, complex strategies, and conflicting advice. But eventually I realized something important. What I needed wasn't more tools. What I needed was a clearer, more structured way to think. A mental framework for understanding the market at its core. Technical Analysis Using Multiple Timeframes by Brian Shannon doesn't promise to make you rich overnight, but it offers something far more valuable. A sharp yet simple way to look at the market. One that helps you spot trends, time your entries, and manage trades with confidence. If you're serious about trading, this is the kind of book you should read, study, and apply, bit by bit, step by step. And if you enjoy reviews like this, practical, honest, no hype, then make sure to subscribe to Investory Hub. Here we don't make wild promises, we just share what's helped real traders survive and grow in real markets. Every week, you'll find new reviews on books about investing, trading psychology, and technical strategy, all filtered, straight to the point, and focused on what actually works. So don't forget to hit like, Leave a comment with your thoughts and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you in the next video right here on Investory Hub, where we turn books into strategy and knowledge into action.